And they want to see people that can love our country come in, not people that are looking to destroy our country. So anyway, thank you, Sheriff.
Sheriff John Aubrey, fifth term sheriff, Jefferson County, Kentucky, Louisville, past president of the National Sheriff's Association. And my fellow sheriffs have brought up a number of points, and I'd like to add two to it that I know are on your plate and the administration's plate. The 1033 program, where we were sharing Department of Defense surplus material that helps us in our war. They were used in the war and they helped us in our war. That got severely curtailed. And the other thing is asset forfeiture. People want to say we're taking money and without due process. That's not true. You know, we take money from dope dealers.
So you're saying, okay, so you're saying the asset taking you used to do and it had an impact, right? And you're not allowed to do it now?
No, they have curtailed it a little bit. And I'm sure the folks are,
And that's for legal reasons or just political reasons?
they make it political and they make it, they make up stories.
Well,
all you gotta do-
I'd like to look into that, okay? There's no reason for that, okay? Dana, do you think there's any reason for that? Are you aware of this?
I'm aware of that, Mr. President, and we have gotten a great deal of criticism for the asset forfeiture, which, as the sheriff said, is frequently was taking narcotics proceeds and other proceeds of crime, but there has been a lot of pressure on the department to curtail some of that.
So what do you do? So in other words, they have a huge stash of drugs. So in the old days, you take it. Now we're criticized if we take it. So who gets it? What happens to it?
Well, we
Tell 'em to
have
keep it?
we have what is called equitable sharing, where we usually share it with the local police departments for whatever portion that they worked on the case, and it was a very successful program, very popular with the law enforcement community.
And now what happens?
Well, now we've just been given there's been a lot of pressure not to forfeit in some cases.
Who would want that pressure, you know? I mean, other than like bad people, right? But who would want that pressure? You would think they'd want
I guess
this stuff taken away.
you have to be careful how you speak, I guess, but a lot of pressure's coming out of was coming out of Congress. I don't know if that'll continue now or
I
not.
think less so. I think Congress is going to get beat up really badly by the voters because they've let this happen. And I think badly. I think you'll be back in shape. So asset forfeiture, we're going to go back on, okay?
Thank you, sir.
I mean, how simple can anything be? You all agree with that, I assume, right? Absolutely. Do you even understand the other side of it?
No.
It's like some
No
things,
sense.
sort of like the Iran deal. Nobody even understands how a thing like that could have happened. It does
Should be
nothing.
allowed to profit from the illegal proceeds, right?
Okay.
So if you're gonna sell narcotics and sell illegal drugs in our country, you also cannot profit from that. And so we seize those profits.
So do we need any legislation or any executive orders for that, would you say, Dana? To put that back in business?
I don't think we need any executive orders. We just need kind of some encouragement
Okay.
to move in that direction.
Good. You're encouraged. I love that answer because that's better than signing executive orders and then these people take it and they make it look so terrible. Oh, it's so terrible. I love it. You're encouraged, okay? Good. Asset forfeiture, you're encouraged. Okay. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, we appreciate you having us here today at the White House. My name is John Kerry-Biddick, and I'm the sheriff in Monroe County, Georgia. I'm a past president with the National Sheriff's Association as well, and I currently chair our Governmental Affairs Committee. And I just want to thank you for the administration working actually on pieces of legislation and on political ideas with us. It's refreshing, and we are thoroughly enjoying it. We are currently working with Senator Grassley on some criminal justice reform issues, and the administration has been supporting us. And
Yes.
the asset forfeiture is a big thing.
Okay, go for it.
And
Just go for it.
I think the
Dana will
department-
tell me if I can't do it, then we'll start doing it.
Yes, sir. I think they got that message. But,
Okay, that's great.
But
Sounds-
we appreciate it. We appreciate your ear, and we appreciate you taking the time to sit down and at least talk to us.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Thank you, John.
Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. Greg Champagne, I am the sheriff in St. Charles Parish, Louisiana, basically a suburban community outside of New Orleans. I have the honor of representing 3,088 sheriffs around the country, and you see the leadership of our organization. These are the leadership of past presidents and the future presidents of our agency. But more importantly than that, we all represent and oversee literally a few 100,000 deputy sheriffs who are truly the backbone of law enforcement in this country. We have a bumper sticker the NSA puts out that says, sheriffs and deputies, the original Homeland Security. And so that is a force multiplier. Those men and women out there are the tip of the spear, and we stand ready to help and keep this community safe, because that's what we're all elected to do. So we thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much, Greg. A great group of people. We're going to go into the Oval Office. Does anybody have anything to, not even a question, a statement, as to how we can bring about law enforcement in a very good, civil, lovely way, but we have to stop crime, right? Would anybody like to make a statement? Couple of
Mr.
you?
President,
Yes, sir.
on the asset forfeiture, we got a state senator in Texas that was talking about introducing legislation to require conviction before we could receive that forfeiture money.
you believe that?
And I told him that the cartel would build a monument to him in Mexico if he could get that legislation.
Who is the state
passed.
senator? Do you want to give his name? We'll destroy his career.
Mr. President,
Okay, thank you.
you know, we have been invited to the White House before, and we've sat at this table with the former administration. But this is totally different. Not once did the president go around the room and ask the sheriffs what were issues that were important to us, he or she, in our parts of the country, but rather it was an outgoing message about gun control, about other things. You asked us what was important to us, whether it's mental health in the jails, opioid addiction. You hit on them right off the bat. The border, immigration, vetting. We appreciate that. That has not happened before. We've been here before, but we've never had a president to sit down and listen to what it is that we're facing, representing our constituents and public safety across this country. And that's why we appreciate it. That's why we're here today with you.
Before it was scripted.
Very much.
You know, Bill Belichick is a great guy and a friend of mine, and he was telling me, but somebody told me that he'll oftentimes, when he's wanting to get a player, he'll go to the other players on the team. He'll say, what do you think of this guy? You know, they all know the different people. And he'll listen to them, and he's done very well, right? He's done very well. And essentially, that's what we're doing. You know, we're talking to the people that know. I'm not telling you, you're telling me. Like what came up this morning. I mean, that was a big statement. I didn't realize it was so all clogged up. The system's all clogged. So we're going to unclog the system. And we're going to go right now into the Oval Office. Would you like the press to come in with you, Mr. Vice President? Should we let them come in? You know, otherwise they're going to sit around waiting for the next meeting for 6 hours. They don't have such an easy job, I'll tell you. They don't have such an easy job.
Mr. President, how far are you willing to take your travel ban fight?
We're going to take it through the system. It's very important. It's very important for the country, regardless of me or whoever succeeds at a later date. I mean, we have to have security in our country. We have to have the ability. When you take some place like Syria, you take all of the different people pouring around. And if you remember, ISIS said, we are going to infiltrate the United States and other countries through the migration. And then we're not allowed to be tough on the people coming in? Explain that one. So we'll see what happens. We have a big court case. We're well represented. And we're going to see what happens.
Is it going to go to the Supreme Court, you think?
Good. I mean, we'll see.
President.
Hopefully it doesn't have to. It's common sense. You know, some things are law, and I'm all in favor of that. And some things are common sense. This is common sense.
Mr. President, if it's unreported or underreported, unreported is the kind of phrase you used yesterday, but if it's underreported, do you think the media is not reporting or Americans?
Well, I happen to think, I don't have to think, I have to know, because I'm reported on possibly more than anybody in the world. I don't think you'll say anything about that. I happen to know how dishonest the media is. I happen to know that stories about me that should be good or bad, you know, I don't mind a bad story if it's true, but I don't like bad stories. But stories that should be a positive story, when they make them totally negative, I understand the total dishonesty of the media better than anybody. And I let people know it. I mean, the media is a very, very dishonest arm, and we'll see what happens. Not everybody, and I have to say that. I always preface it by saying, not everybody. but there's tremendous dishonesty, pure outright dishonesty from the media. Let's go into the White House. Let's go in the Oval Office.